That must be Eric. Bonk her on the head and drag her away. So you're going to do real money, huh? Oh, well, hey, if one of us is wrong, the other one's got to be right. Well, hey, you know what? All you can do is all you can do. Yeah? Well, that's a good thing. Me and my grandson did a video yesterday. Uh, yep. Yeah, well, really have live. That's always a good one. Saving for the last couple of years. I was sorting the coins and he all rolled up. Slowly we counted it. Well, that called dividend capturing. Well, yeah. And then when he's 8, it changed when he graduates high school. Wait. Hold. What's a pen? I know what it is. I'm being facetious. Only a real. You've never heard of a good one for you. A real. You've never heard of a good one for you. You ready? Are you ready? Management X. You write in it, say X amount of dollars to the seller. Payment penalty. Penalize you on it per $1,000. Well, you're only getting penalized. Go. What the newer generation thinks, he just hit the reset button. We'll start over again. Doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. Which ones? Have that memorized. Sure. STZ, single week, he gives nice. Well, that's not bad. Has to be all cash. Hey, I don't blame you. Don't ever do margin until you're comfortable. Good evening, everyone. My name is James. Very simple, safe, predictable. Now, I'm sure as a trader, we all went down that path one time. We day traded, we did this, we did that. Well, you know what? I was trading for about 5-6 years. I was doing rather well, okay? But in 2008, my 9-year-old daughter jumped on my lap and said, Daddy, what are you doing? Daddy, what are you doing? In the stock market. So how am I supposed to teach a 9-year-old how to invest in the stock market? Okay, so, well, it had to be simple. Get there, all right? Just like a good movie, everything's going to come into full understanding as we progress. Had to be simple. Her to lose. Because we all know if a 9-year-old little girl starts losing money, guess the first thing she's going to do? She's going to start crying. And guess what's going to happen with Daddy's going to feel like, look, is this no way for her to lose? All right, so that 5, it was specifically companies that were 20 of increased profits. Because if it's good enough for Warren, I need the glasses for this one. Here and this is July. Obviously increased its profits for more. We put them into the calendar, and I'm going to explain to you in a second why that's important. But talking about dividend stocks, there's 4 dates you need to remember when it comes to a dividend stock. Okay, ready for the 4? Here we go. Date number 1, the announcement date. The announcement date is nothing more when the company is saying, hey, everybody, this is James from Dividend Stock Talk. We had a great year this year. We made so much money. This is how you're going to get your share this way. Well, they just tell you how much money they made and how you're going to get your share. Because as a shareholder, as an owner of the stock, you are entitled to a portion announcement. That's when they tell you what they made and when, what important date. Okay, that is the last day. Okay, okay, that's just some of them. Okay, now a record. Number 4, the payment date. Well, that's when you get your money. Next date is the important date. Well, here's the thing about proven to have a track record, okay? Now, they increased their 20, 30 years. These profits and that dividend increasable for the dividend to increase, how much the dividend is going to be. So if the dividend increases, the profits increase. If the profits increase, the dividends increase. They go hand in hand, okay? So a portion of the profits goes to the dividends. Me, it's consistently profitable. Well, I'm a lazy trader. I admit it very well. For the past, subscribe to anything. We all know how it works. You know, I've been here a while. I've written a bunch of books. I have a home study course. I got all this stuff for sale, but I'm not trying to sell. Showing you, I'm actually going to show you everything you need to know. Let's keep on going. So, the importance of the EX dividend calendar. Let me explain briefly. If the EX, here's Lowe's right here, the 23rd. Let's highlight it right there. The 23rd of July, Lowe's is going to pay a dividend. Well, the funny thing is, Lowe's pays a dividend every 90 days. So, this, tomorrow, is the first day of the third quarter. Okay, so count it. One, dividend. The fourth week of every quarter. The first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, the fourth quarter. You can set your clock by it. You can set your clock by it. That's why my very first book was how to get 10 to 20 checks per month like clockwork. Because every 90 days, Lowe's on the fourth week of the quarter, first quarter, second quarter, they pay the dividend. Okay? The first week of the quarter, General Dynamics, Cardinal Health. Okay? Consistently, every 90 days. Week 3, these stocks. Week 4, these stocks. And then I just rotate it. Now, why? Let me explain. So, if Lowe's has a dividend on the fourth quarter, this dividend, that's where I want to, just before they pay the down a little bit. Knowing that, and just knowing that stock's going to move up on it. If you knew in advance, I actually had a software that actually went into the data stream to show the, I could probably do with AI nowadays, to show the consistency in which the stock actually, would you do? Would you buy the stock? Would you buy an option? Would you sell an option? Would you do four-corner spread? Would you do a bull call spread, a bull put spread? Okay, so back to my daughter. Simplest thing, the simplest trading strategy is just buying the stock. But there's no profitability in just buying the stock. It is before you do anything. Strategy I'm about to show you. Create one yourself. Never sell. And create a cash flow machine. Okay, we're going to get into that a little bit further on. So everything, like I said, like a good movie, everything comes together in the end. So just sit tight. Hopefully all your questions will be answered. And if you have a question I'm not answering, just ask. I will try to get to every single question. Now, months and months ago, like last year, I would answer every single question. But nowadays, there are so many questions coming in, I can't get to all of them. And I got to apologize. But I do try to answer every single. Never sell at a loss. It defeats the purpose. Okay, we're here to make money. We're not here to buy a stock. Well, if it goes down, then sell it. No. Understand everything about that stock before you put your hard-earned money into it. Okay, what's the 52-week high? What's the 52-week low? What's the rate of return on the cash in the company? What is the cash flow look like? Okay, what do the dividends look like? How many years have they consistently increased their dividends? What's the book value? Now, these are simple questions, or they call it fundamental questions. Because there's a difference between fundamental. It'll come to me. But anyway, never buy it unless you understand it. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, never sell at a loss. Rule number 3, this one always amazes me. Now, the reason it amazes me, because it sounds so simple, you think to yourself, why the hell wouldn't everybody do that? You'll be amazed, because you will see tonight people asking me about stocks that don't fit. You ready? Here we go. Rule number 3. Make sure the company is consistently profitable. Is 2 decades. Okay, now tonight, throughout the night, you'll have a lot of people asking me to take a look at stocks. I'll take a look at them. I'll give you my opinion. But that's just my opinion. If you find something that you like and it makes sense to you, well then you do you. Okay, I do what I'm doing and I'm just sharing it. Okay, I don't expect any of you to listen to me. Okay, I'm creating a documentary series for my children and my grandchildren. So when I am gone onto the next adventure, okay, I'll have the video series for my children and my grandchildren, maybe my great-grandchildren. So how did pop one? You ready? My children and my grandchildren will not be able to inherit any of the money that I'm leaving behind unless they understand this concept. And yes, I'm going to create a bunch of tasks and a bunch of study courses that they have to pass before they are eligible to get any of the inheritance. I know it's a dick move, isn't it? It's like when your parents, like when your grandparents die and they leave you a bunch more. My children, my grandchildren, but I'm not just going to give it to them. I want them to understand how money works. Okay? Yeah, you can make a lot of money, but money is just one minor fraction of your life. All I'm offering you is just one less thing to worry about. So if you can get 1% every week, that's what I'm looking for. That's 50% a year. If you can arrange your finances where 50% a year is perfectly acceptable and you can live comfortably, well, that's great. But it's also just one less thing to worry about. There's other things in life other than money. All right. So I was just saying, rule 3, make sure the company's profitable. You'll be amazed. Some of the stocks you'll hear me say, what the hell were you thinking putting your money into this? But everyone's different. All right. Rule number 5, cash flow. The only way to get weekly cash flow is by something that trades on a weekly basis. So you got two choices. Weekly options or sit in front of the computer and stare at this. Yeah, I have no desire whatsoever to sit in front of my computer and look at charts all day. I could make a shit ton of money by sitting here staring at this looking for, okay, no desire. I'm at that point when I'm retired. When you're retired, everything changes, literally. And then I get the phone call. Daddy, you sitting down? Hey, grandfather. That's exactly what happens. And then when you retire, your life changes again. Your focus changes. So my focus now is to record all the information I've accumulated over my lifetime into a video format for my children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. So they don't have to relearn everything I took a lifetime to learn. So hopefully their life will be better. Hopefully. There's no guarantees. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. See? You can give the children a whole bunch of money without losing. Because I have two main goals in my investing. Number 1, consistency. My account is growing slowly every single week, and it's paying for my living expenses. Great. I'll never run out. I want my children and grandchildren all about. I'm not trying to sell anyone anything. I'm just creating a video log for my children and grandchildren. You just get to be here to enjoy, to reap the benefits. Okay? So, rule 5. Make sure the numbers into the, let's say the square peg into the round hole, and then see how it works. Okay? So, now, if you didn't know, if you're new here, what you're seeing here on this screen here, okay, is being couch, kick back, relax, grab some popcorn, some soda, and watch on your big screen TV. Because you can see everything that I'm doing on the big screen TV, and it's going to be recorded. So if you need to eventually go back and watch an episode to see, what the hell was he talking about? What is today? You can go to YouTube, that10minutetrader.com. I've been doing this for a while, okay? I think I shared my very first blog post in 2011. Okay? My very first video, I think, was in 2012, 2013, somewhere in that area. Okay, yeah, but I've been here for a while. So, let's take the questions as they come. I have no idea why some people give me these questions. Okay, Suitcase, how are you doing today? Hakuna, okay, he gets tired after about 15 minutes. Like, he was on last night for, 15, 20 minutes? And then he just, disappeared. Okay, he's fine. You can't force him into it. He'll grow into it eventually. How many disciples do you have in the pipeline? A couple hundred. All right, so let's keep on going. What do we have here? All righty. Okay. All these people saying hi. Hey, hi, hello. Barry, John, Roger, DG, Miss Appi. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Whoa, where am I? Ooh, wow. End a little bit earlier. Michael, Lonzo, bump, 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 broken English. Good night. Yep. All right. Grande. Smells like bad decision and Dr. Pepper in here. I've never heard that one before. All righty. With $9 to $10, then 18 to 20%, then 10, then 5, then 1 hours for 12 months. Okay. 6 days, 100 days. Okay, broken English. You're all over the place. I have no idea what we're talking about. 90 days. Yep. Technical analysis. That was it. You got fundamental analysis and then technical analysis. Okay, so it's a little bit of both. Okay, we'll see that in a little. Eagle, how are you? Brian, good evening. Drip. N.E. Casey, what's up, boss? Thank you for all your wisdom. I managed to make 1.5 in Gap, 1.2 in Siri last week. Cool beans. Remy, how are you doing? Love the sidekick. Yep, he's fun. He does keep me on my toes. Covered calls only. Okay, so user 1609227616. Why couldn't your parents just name you Peter or Tom or Ted? Okay, covered calls only. Yeah, here for free. One trading strategy and it. Don't understand when you make your money. BBAI have weekly options. When the stock tanks, you collect higher and higher dividends every year. I think this was your longest intro. 1,100 videos. That's impressive. Let's go to the trade. Let's go here. Let's put in the chart. Some strange reason. Lonzo thinks BBAI. Okay. Now, Lonzo, I'm having a little bit of a challenge trying to believe that a company that was $1 a couple of months ago has 2 decades, 20 years of increased dividends to the shareholders. What do you think? Okay, I'm not 100% sure that thing is even worth looking at. What do you do when stock tanks? Hayes, here's the thing. Okay, take a look at this one right here. Here's the high, $10. Here's the low, $1. If you're not ready to buy a stock at $10 and have it drop to 1 and not panic, they go down. See? Okay, up, down, up, down, up, down. That's all they do. It's not that difficult. When a stock goes up, okay, whatever it is that's going to cause it to come back down again, I call it profit taking. Because if you had it at $1 back in October, fault. Because what happened? You get up to 10, then it got profit taken. It came all the way back down to 2.25. Okay? So when it comes down to 2.25, turns around, starts going back up again, that's when you jump in again. When she goes back up from 2 to 4, maybe then get out. 15 years. If that's your approach, you're in the wrong place. I go in with that intention because if the stock drops, I will hold it until it hits my target. Perfect example is coal. Nice profit. So why get rid of it? That's my idea. Okay. What do you do in stock tanks? Good call on Kroger. Thank you, Lonzo. Okay. Way over there is a year ago. Right over here is today. This is 12 months worth of stock information. No, that's cheating. Okay, my name's not Pelosi. Yeah, I have great contempt for that woman. Everything's all illegal, but they do have some software that allows you to follow exactly what those that have insider information do. Misty, go take a look at what consistency Misty has increased their dividends. Come back and tell me how many years Misty has increased their dividends to their shareholders, and then we'll take a look at it. All right, questions over here on TikTok. What do we got? Nothing. Everybody's just saying hi. Hi, hello, hi, hello, hi, hello, hi, hello, hi, hello. Okay, hi, None 1651 wants to take a look at Pepsi. Okay, Pepsi. Now, we've been watching Pepsi for the past couple of months, waiting to find the bottom. Well, it looks like we may have found it right here. So we're going to zoom in and take a close look at it. I look at a chart. The very first chart I want to look at is the 1-year chart. Okay, I'm looking for things. Okay, you're going to see a lot of fives. It makes it easy. 5. Ready? Number 1, the high of the year. Number 2, the low of the year. Number 3, where was it a year ago? Where is it now? And number 4, probably the most important one, follow the bottom. Before I look a little deeper into the chart, I want to take a look at the number. Okay, what's the current price? Then I want to go over to the options because I do weekly options. All right, I buy good quality dividend stocks and I sell options against them. So currently we're at 132. The 132 is going for 117 to 132. Well, here's the kicker. Okay, there's no trading on Friday, so we got 3 days left. It's very challenging to get. We have 5 days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But Monday's already gone, and there's no trading on Friday. So getting 1% in. Let's change this up so we can see all of these. 6, and then we want to look at 11 July. Okay, so more than likely we're not going to get a full 1% for this week. Now, yesterday or last night, when we were on last night, well, we could have because we had fix. Well, that's over 1%. Well, great. Well, let's take a look at this chart now. Let's see what is the chart telling me. So who can name me the album? Rod Stewart back in the 1970s. Every picture tells a story. Because every picture tells a story. High, low, was, is, look at the motion. That's a picture. That's a story it's telling me. Well, that's the whole. Okay, I want to get in on a Monday and I want to get out on Friday. Every once in a while, I'll push it to next week and I'll roll it over. Now, we'll talk about rolling over in a little bit, but at this moment in time, I just want to buy the stock, get my 1%, get the hell out, and pick something else next week. Because the bottom is here. Best time to buy. When she goes up, how far is it going to go before it turns around and comes back down again? 11 million shares on Pepsi traded today. So my measly $5, $10, $15, $20,000 isn't going to mean anything. At 132, what is 1% of 132? It's like $1.32. So once this stock goes up to 133, 134, I want to jump out. That's my 1%. That's for me. You got to figure out what your entry, what your exit point is going to be. Now, there are some people that will wait 5, 10, 15% before they jump out. Well, I want to do a covered call. I really don't care if the stock moves at all. And as we progress, you'll see exactly what I mean. So let's try it. Okay, we're going to jump into this one here. A year ago, Pepsi's at 164. Now, the high of the year, which was back in August, okay, that was 181. Now, from there, she drops, retraces, drops again. Look at this area right here. Basically just going sideways. Now, people call it sideways. I call it channeling. It's staying between 127 and 132. Just that one little area, just sideways. Okay, not a big move. But look at here. Bottom's here. 1 day up, 2 days up. That's 2 days to the upside. Well, if tomorrow she's higher, that would be 3 days to the upside. If she's higher than 132 tomorrow, I'll jump in. Because I want 2 days to the upside. And then on the third day, if everything looks good, I'll jump in. But that's me. You have to figure out what is right for you. I'm not telling anyone what to buy. I'm just showing you what I'm looking at, what I'm looking at. Okay? You have to figure out what's right for you. Never blindly listen to some idiot on YouTube or TikTok. Yep, that would be me, the idiot. Call me whatever you like. But I have been doing this for a while, and I do have proof to show what I have made. Yes, but I'm not telling anyone to do anything. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. And I'm showing you how the numbers work for me. So if you want to do something similar, or if you want to copy what I'm doing, fine. I'm not giving advice, and I'm not giving stock tips. I'm just reading what you guys asked me to look at. So here's Pepsi. I think this might be the bottom. Because at the bottom here, 1 day to the upside, 2 days to the upside, and we're going to do what is called a covered call. Now, I like covered calls because they're simple. They're safe. They're so safe, in fact, you can actually do a covered call in your retirement account. There's a lot of trading strategies you cannot do in your retirement account. Well, a covered call is one that you can. Now here, this little drop-down window, it tells you all the different trading strategies there are with stock options. Single, vertical, back ratio, calendar. I teach one for free, only one. Okay, it's the same one I created for my 9-year-old daughter, and that is the covered call. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to covered call, and then Think or Swim, which is a software I'm using, free to use from Charles Schwab. Okay, now I've been using Think or Swim for over 20 years. I wrote a book about 15 years ago on choosing. And then I want to do the 132s right here. Here's the 132s right there. It automatically fills everything for me. The only thing I've got to do is decide how many shares I want to buy. Well, we're just going to do one contract. Now, one contract is 100 shares. Now, here's another way of looking at it. Rather than thinking of, I'm going to turn the fan on. Anyway, I am creating what is called a cash flow asset. Weekly cash flow asset. So I'm going to take a bunch of money, stick it into Pepsi. Well, now I have an asset. Pepsi is free cash flow every single week until it hits my target. And then I might decide to sell it, or I might decide to roll it into the next week. The next week, or do I want to cash out, get all my money back, and pick something else? Because think about it. If a stock is going up, well, I want to own it up, creating more cash flow. It's time to let it go. Because here's the thing. If the stock jumps up 10, 15, 20%, doesn't go playing in another sandbox. It might be Coca-Cola. It might be IBM. It might be US Steel. It might be Ford, General Motors, IBM, AT&T, Procter & Gamble. Something that I've heard of that I know has consistently been profitable for decades. Those are the only games I want. Those are the only sandboxes I want to play in. I mean, come on, we're all children at heart anyway. But think about it. If I'm going to make a nice profit off of Pepsi, she goes up for a while and then profit taking starts, well, I want to abandon ship and go another sand. Numbers don't scare people. And then you can understand, well, if I have one, and I have this much money, well, maybe I can get 3 contracts. And a market order is quite simple. A limit order, you're saying, this is what I want to pay. That's it. This is what I want to pay. Enter into a position. Because I do a market order. Because it fills instantaneously. And the reason why I do a market order when I enter, because the stock order and the option order are tied together. So I know exactly what I'm making, even at a market order, filling instantaneously first thing in the morning, because they're tied together. So it fills first thing. Now, if you do a limit order, it can sit all day long, not fill at all. Depends on what your limit order's at. So I always do market order when I enter, and I only do limit orders when I'm selling. Because when I'm selling, this is what I want. I want my 1%. If it's higher than 1%, great. Give me more than 1%. But 1% is my limit on the bottom. All right. So, one contract, market order, confirm and send. Here's the numbers. Are you ready? I always tell everybody when you are doing your trading, read it out loud. The number one mistake everyone makes. I've been trading for 20 years, and I still make the mistake. Hitting the wrong button. Everyone does it. Okay, so buy 1. Covered call, Pepsi, 100. That means it's the weekly. 11. There's no way we're going to get 1% in 3 days. Pepsi stock at the market to open to open. Now, it says to open to open. No, I didn't stutter. It's 2 orders. Okay? Stock order, option order to open. All right, so this order here, 2 orders. Okay, this is what it is. That's the order. Read it out loud, make sure it makes sense. Second thing you want to see here, maximum profit. Now, remember I told you I know exactly what I'm going to make before I even do the trade? Well, a covered call tells you that. I don't have to wait for the stock to go up. I don't have to wait for the stock. The stock doesn't have to do anything at all. Okay, my profit is right there. Whether the stock moves or not, I'm making that profit right there, $207.50. What is it costing me? What is my investment? Anytime you're buying a cash-producing asset, such as a vending machine, such as a rental car or a rental property, you have an investment. You put up money up front, and then you get a return. Well, with real estate, you put in a big chunk of money up front, and you get monthly income. Well, great. Well, I'm putting a big chunk of money up front, and I'm getting weekly income. Okay, I did the math many, many years ago. Okay, I could pay a couple $100,000, buy a house, and get all this cash flow. Or I can buy cash-producing assets in the forms of stocks and get a weekly cash flow. 1% a week. That's over 50% a year. I don't know anybody, and investing always also goes down in value. Okay, but the investment, $12,993. So let's get out the calculator to find out what kind of rate of return that is. Calculator, here we go. All right, so profit, $207.50. $207.50, and a grand total of 1.59%. Okay, 1.6. That's for a week and a half. Oh, roughly a week and a half. Okay, so it's not this Friday, it's next Friday. Okay, fine. 1% a week. That's over 50% next week or two? Well, I don't think so. Can you imagine? Is it possible? So I got a question. This is the question where I qualify whether or not I want to have a conversation with someone. Say, who do you think killed John F. Kennedy? And if anybody says that idiot that the government wants us to believe, then I don't want to talk bullet theory. Bullet goes, stops in midair, turns, goes, stops again, turns, dips on the ankle, then goes. If you believe that crap, yeah, I don't want to have a conversation with you. Think about it. They're telling us that a bullet can stop in midair, turn 90 degrees, and then proceed forward. Yeah, so if you think Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Ford, General Motors can disappear overnight, yeah, no thank you. Anyway, so 1.59% for Pepsi. If chart, 132 for Pepsi. Well, 132 is pretty damn low for Pepsi. Let's go back to the chart. And get all this out of the way. These are not my numbers. I didn't make these numbers up. This is what it is. The high of the year for Pepsi. One selling high. Okay, so if you like Pepsi, great. Not going to get much lower than the low of the year. All right, so let's keep on keeping on. How you calculate, Hayes, how do you calculate 1%? Oh boy. Now, Hayes, you're going to be a little embarrassed about this. Okay? You're going to be just a smidge embarrassed about this. How do you calculate 1%? All right, Hayes, you ready? Here we go. The stock price is $132. 132. Okay? Some people call it 132. 132. 132. So what's 1% of 132? 132. $1.32. Okay, 132. That's how you calculate 1%. Okay, 1% of 100 is 1. 1% of 200 is 2. You're just moving the decimal point over two places. That's it. It's a little silly if you think about it. All right, Club Med, 10th of June, got today 0.3 for the 1650s. Where do you look to see if it's been a stock for 20 years? Okay, Broncorp. You ready? Broncorp, you ready for this? Google. Seriously, Google. Dividend Kings list that have increased for 25 years. Ooh, look at that. Oh, it's gone. Damn it. Okay, Broncorp, yep. Wally World is over 25 years old. That is on the list. Dum bum 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 bum. Yeah, do I no, I don't get it. No. Okay, Fonzarelli. I'm still waiting for you to get me back that information about MSTY. How consistently, how many years has MSTY increased its dividend payments to its shareholders? Zim, Anton, Zim, same question for you. Where do you look? See, I already did that one. Autopilot. All right. Dun, 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 dun. Ben said hello, hello. 130 is the bottom. All righty, Club Med Tom. Maybe he can chime in, but I wouldn't have bought the 16 call. Okay, NEC Easy. I don't buy options. You're talking about buying the $16 call? Yeah, I don't buy options at all. Okay, 80% of all options expire worthless. All righty. Gen X 78. Woohoo! Good evening, Verizon keys. VZ. Hey, it's Miss Sherry. Hi, Miss Sherry. All right. Verizon, the high, the low. Where was it? Where is it? Look at that. Ooh, look what's going on right there. That looks attractive. Really does. But before we get into that, let's go take a look at the chart. 43.27. The 43s are going for 54. Yeah. Think about it. Okay. Who asked me about 1%? Okay. $43. 1% of $43 is 43 cents. Isn't that weird? Okay. What's 1% of 43? 43. Anyway. So I like the numbers. The 1-year chart looks okay. So let's break it down and look at the 90-day chart, the 30-day chart, and see where the high, the low, where was it, where is it? Look at the motion. Up, down, sideways. What's going on there? Let's zoom in. Are you ready? A year ago today, right there, 41.58. We bottomed out in the beginning of January at 37.52, and then we topped out in the March 7th, which is the first week of March. Say that, okay, is because I'm doing trades weekly, jumping in on Monday, getting out on a Friday. So I want to know what you guys are thinking. Well, this is you guys. Me and you guys. We are the investors. We say it's too high. We say it's too low. That's what we do. Jumped up to 44, dropped down to 41. Now we're at 43. Well, what do you think? Up, down, up. It's not that difficult. Adults have a tendency to make this more complicated than it needs to be. Up, down, up. Okay, bottom's here. Now we're up here. Does it make sense to jump in? Well, the 43.27, if I buy it at 43.27, I pick up 28, but I'm losing 26 cents. I'm walking away with 2 cents. Yeah, no. Sorry, the numbers just don't work for Verizon. You'll find that often, even 2 weeks out. That's not this week. That's next week. Okay, this, I like this. But the covered call, no. Just doesn't work. Now, here's something interesting. Now, I don't normally do this, but look at this. Okay? The 43.50 put is paying 2%. Think about it. If you like Verizon, you can sell a 43.50 put. And as long as she stays, well, if she's above 43.50, you don't have to do anything. But if it's below 43.50, which it is, you have to buy it at 43.50. But I only give it away for free. But I just noticed that if I'd pass it along, why not? Throw you a bone. It's called a cash secured put. Okay? Now it's at 43.26 and it's in an upward trend. Well, where's 43.50? Right there. It's not that far away. Now, the funny thing about a cash secured put, if it doesn't fill this week, well, you push it into next week. If it doesn't fill this week, push it into next week. Give it some time to move. There's lots of ways of doing it if you like Verizon. If you like Verizon at this price, this area right here. And I write. It looked interesting. All right, let's keep on going. Long out or rolling down. I try not to roll up because it always costs money to roll up. To roll out, which is the same strike price. Okay? When you roll up, you would use, for instance, okay? If I did the 43s, rolling up would be the 44s, the 45s. Rolling down would be the 43s or the 4250s. rolling out would be the 43.50s. The same strike price, just moving it out another day. So when you're moving out another day, okay, you get more premium. And then when you're moving it down, you get more premium, but it's cutting into the stock or the strike price. So you're losing value on the stock. You got to make sure you make that back along with some profit. Poised to pop. Okay, got that one. Eagle, what's the point of following the stock pattern? Did you really honestly ask me that one? Okay, hold on a second. Hold on a second. All right. Eagle, let me ask you a question. If you looked at the chart, it looked like this. Stock is going down and then sideways with a very slight upward trend. Now it's going down. Would you buy it as it's going down? Because you don't know what the next day is going to be. Because the next day, it could be lower. And then it could be lower. And then it could be lower. And then follow the bouncing ball. Wherever it's going next, that's where I want to be. Okay? Your friend, trend is your friend right up to the end. So as the stock is going down, well, yeah, you can bet on it going down. But eventually, it's going to stop, turn around, go back up. And then it's going to go up to a certain point. Okay? It's going to go up to a certain point. Then it's going to turn around and go down. If you're against the direction of the stock, well, if you're selling as it's going up, you're losing profit. It's always important to follow the crowd. It's easier to follow the crowd than it is to walk against it. You ever try walking against the crowd? It's not easy. You ever try swimming against the tide? That ain't easy either. It's easier to go with the flow. The flow, down, up, down, up, down. Eventually, it's going to turn around and go back up again. Okay, you can do whatever you want, seriously. But to follow the flow, it's easy for me to get, because once I find the bottom and it turns around, then it can go back up again and I can get my 1 or 2%. That's all I'm looking for. Okay, I'm not greedy at all. I just want 1% every single week, consistently, because that comes to over 50% per year. Oh, okay. Sounds like I made a good call with Pepsi. Let's take a look at Clorox. CLX. CLX. This looks like the bottom for Clorox. See, but look. We're at 170. She drops all the way down to 120. To the upside. 1, 2. Awesome. Okay? It's poised to keep going up. If the third day is going to be up, that's where I would jump in. But I'm not going to do Clorox because Clorox is a monthly. And I don't do monthlies because the number's just 4. Don't get me wrong, I love Clorox. It's been in business for over 100 years. They are a dividend king. They have increased their profits for over 5 decades consistently. But monthlies, to me, just don't pay the same. Not there, the money. KDP. Ooh, KDP. Kinder Morgan. Right? KDP. Kinder Morgan. KD. Another monthly. I don't do monthlies the number today. Now, IROD, let me explain to you why I don't like the Qs. Okay? Other than the fact, I don't want to pay $500 a share. Other than that fact. Right. I say, IROD, I'm looking for consistency of profitability. That's profit. At least increase profit. I'm good, thank you. How are you? Okay, IROD, hold on, take a look at this. Okay, number 1, we're going to go all the way back to 2005, 20 years ago. IROD, you ready for this? 3 cents. Why 3 to 10 is, in my humble opinion. Okay, go from 3 to 10, that's great. But from 10 to 2, 2.3, that's going down, down, down. 5.4, 2.7, backward. 3.7, 2.6, backwards again, 5.3, 3.3, backwards again, 3.4, 2.8, backwards again, 4.3, 4.9, 4.4, backwards again, 4.1, 7.3, 5.1, backwards again. Do you see what's going on with QQQ? Okay, the profits go up, the profits go down. Profits go up, profits go down. Now there's over 10,136 companies. Now we look every Monday. Every Monday we look how many stocks are available this week, because they add new companies every single week. So if there's 10,000, profits go up, profits go down, profits go up, profits go down. I don't like the Qs. They're not consistently profitable. I have no desire to put my money into something that's not consistently profitable. Let me show you what I'm looking at. Now I use this example every time because it's freaking perfect. MSFT. I'm looking for 2000. Every single year, higher and higher and profitable. Seriously, think about it. You like that, iRod? Alrighty. Good, thank you. SM Rocky. If you get assigned on the shares on a put you sold, up is it going down? 5 days? Because if I'm getting in on a Monday, I'd like to get out on a Friday. If I'm getting in on a Monday, I'd like to get out on a Friday. Grab my 1% for the week. Grab my 1% for the week. Okay? So the delta really has, okay? So the delta really has nothing to do with it, and all the other Greeks that go along with it. Well, a lot of people will get confused because it's not the simplest thing in the world to understand. I thought KDP is a quarterly dividend stock. AJ, it is. Okay? KDP is a dividend stock. KDP is a dividend stock. You're confusing dividends with quarterly dividend. 15 August, 19 September, 17, 15 August, 19 September, 17 October. Those are months of the year. Now, I want it to look like this. July, Friday, 18 July, 2 Fridays, 25 July, 3 Fridays, 1 August, 4 Fridays, 8 August, 5 Fridays, so on and so on and so on. Every single week it has an option available. KDP, got it? Yeah. So KDP is a monthly. Now understand this. There's nothing wrong with monthlies. Some people enjoy them. I don't like them because they don't work for me. They only give me an option once a month, which is only 12 times a year. So if I'm getting 1 to 2% with every option trade that I do, well, monthlies, that's 12 to 24% a year. Now, some of you might think that's 50 to 100. Okay, AJ, what's the to do then? I don't do monthlies. Okay, monthly options. Okay, these are weekly options. Look at the dates. 3 July, 11 July, 18 July, 25 July. For that channel, what do we have over here? Okay, we already did Verizon. Yes, I wanted to know how to roll up. Okay, Lonzo, we already did that one. Sherry. Wally World. Are you having a good year in the market? Kent, I'm having a disgustingly wonderful year. Okay, I'm up over 60% and it's not even halfway through the year. And this is all I'm doing. I'm not doing crazy trades that make big. It's crazy. It's simple. It's easy. It's at Wally World. WMT. Interesting. Okay. High, low. Where was it? Where is it? That works because 1% of 98 is 98. But it's offering me 121. Oh, 121 is higher than 128. All right. 121 is higher than 98. Sorry. All right. So let's keep on going. All right. A year ago, 7. The top of Valentine's Day. Happy VD. Okay. Here's the bottom right here. TDS Day. TDS Day jumped up to the high, back down, back up, back down. Look at this right here. It's a nice move. Well, let's zoom in a little closer, the last 30 days. Now, the reason I want to look at the last 30 days, well, because it gives me a good idea of where it's going to be, hopefully by Friday. Okay, what do you think? Okay, 97 jumps up to 101, drops down to here. Here's your high. You got your profit taking, until it reaches the bottom. Okay, then she turns around and people say, wait a second, Walmart at 93? Hell yeah, I'm going to buy some. Goes back up. It goes from 93 to 99. That's $6. That's what, 8%? That's not that big of a move. But anyway, had profits. Now she's going back up again. Does it make sense? Well, the 98 is showing me at 121. That's over 1%. So let's see what Wally World looks like. All right, let's get rid of this. Let's look at covered stock. The 98 right there. One contract at Wally 98. At the market, here we go. And here's Johnny. Buy one covered call of Walmart, WMT 100. That is the weeklies. 11 July 25. That's next Friday. The $98 call option against the Walmart stock at the market to open. 149 is the profit. 9,600 is the investment. So let's see what my cash flowing machine, Walmart, is going to give me on this week. Stock price does go up and does go down. Okay, this week I'm getting 149 for a contract. Next week I might get one for a contract. Okay, $100. I might get $80. I may get $185. It's going to, it's a number that you got to decide. Because this week it's offering me 149. Next week it will be a different number. The week after that it will be a different number. How long do you want to tie up your $9,600? 78. Well, 98's not that far away. I'll get all my money back. Or do I roll it forward and get some more money until it will at some any longer? Because you can't really change the strike prices. Because as you change the strike prices, well, the premiums change. If the premium changes, does it make sense? Okay, as soon as it stops making sense, as soon as you stop getting 1%, then it's time to, okay, if you're expecting a stock to come to your house to take the dog for a walk, ain't gonna happen. If you leave the lawnmower out and the edger out and you wake, they don't do anything else. They go up, they go down. That's it. Up, down, up, down, up, down. That's it. Find a good stock you like, buy it as it's going up. Once you hit a decent sized profit, take it. Because it ain't a profit until you take it, and nobody ever went broke taking profits. If you take profits every single week, you're not going to go broke. Unless, of course, you have a spending habit. Anyway, Walmart, 149, 9,600. Let's see what that looks like. Calculator. I got to come up with a good name for calculator. 49 is the profit. Particular trade. Each trade is going to be different. Each number is going to be different. You have to decide what is right, what is comfortable for you. So here, 149 is the maximum profit. Right there, maximum profit, 149. Cost of the trade, including commission fees, 96.51. All right, well, let's do that. Divided by 96.51, grand total of 1.53. Well, what's wrong with 1.53 every week? Explain to me in a manner in which I'll understand where 1.54 is not, per week, is not a good idea. Because that is going to be more than 70% by the end of the year. Well, let's multiply it out. If this is 1.54 for 1 week, well, what does 52 weeks look like? All right, let's multiply by 52. 80%. I said 70, but it's at 80. I would love to get 80%. Love Walmart. Okay? If I buy Walmart, I sell to someone else the same price I just paid for it. If I'm paying 97.78, I'm selling the right, not the obligation, the right, a covered call, a call option contract at 98. Buying it at 97.78, I'm selling it at 98. I'm picking up 1.54% for 1 week. If it hits my target, I get an additional 22 cents per share. Well, that's awesome. Think about it, because if I'm buying it at 97.78 and I'm selling it at 98, and it goes over 98 and I decide to let it go, well, I get the difference between the purchase price, 97.78, and the agreed upon contract through the covered call, the 98 call option. Okay, but I get this money in my account instantaneously. First, if I was going to do this first thing in the morning, I'd get that 149 in my account, spendable money that same day. I don't have to wait for the stock to move because I already own the stock and I sold somebody the right to buy it from me for basically the same price I just paid for it. And I'm picking up 1.5% in the process every single week. That's my goal, 1% every single week. Why the hell not? All right, what do we have? What we have here? All right, here, Wally World. Did Wally World. I'm going to write Wally World down because 1.5 is not bad. The 98. 1.5. All right. Did you hold, or do you hold the contracts until they expire? Big Harry, excellent question. Do I hold the contracts until they expire? Harry, I'm going to explain something and see if you understand it, because it is so simple. It is ridiculously simple. Hold 1 second, Big Harry. All right, Big Harry. I check my stocks every morning, okay? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We have a live trading group. We're on at 9 a.m. We take a look at what are our positions, what strike price I sell, what does it mean, am I safe, what should I do? They're all simple questions, okay? It's always going to be about the numbers. Do you remember back many years ago? I think they still have them nowadays. Paint by numbers. Okay, 1 is blue, 2 is red, 3 is green, 5 is yellow, so on and so forth. Well, this is the same thing. What did I buy it for? What strike price did I sell? What did I collect? What's the stock at now? What's the best play for me? 2 goals: consistency of profitability and preservation of my capital. That's it. Okay, I got 2 criteria: consistency of profitability and protection of my capital. What should I have done? Club Med Tom. Tom, I'm terribly sorry. I remember seeing, Tom, seriously, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cameras going, and then I got the computer down here. So I have so many questions coming and going, I'm not 100% sure what the question was. I remember there was a question, and somewhere back in the call log, I just don't remember what it was. What is it? Club Med Tom. All right, here we go. I found it, Tom. Had some Mara. Let's open up some Mara. Hold on a second, Tom. Hold. Stop right there. I go right now. Before we go any further, what should I do? With this. Okay, anyway. I'll put some phrases for that one. All right. Mara. M-A-R-A. Just to let you know, Tom, you do have Mara. All right, so, I'm not seeing the problem here, Tom. That looks pretty good. Think about it. Here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at the action. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, so it's an upward trend at the moment. 1568. 1568 to 1550. Ooh, nice. 16. Awesome. I love that one. Why the hell not? All right, hold on. Hold the phone. A year ago, we're at 2087. The high of the year, 3150. The bottom of the year, 972. Look at where we are now. High, low is. Look at the motion. Up, down, up, down, up. It's definitely in an upward trend. Definitely. So let's look at the last 30 days right there. Right there. Here we go. Up, down, up. All right. Well, let's see what he had to say. 1616 on the 10th. Holy shit. Okay, let me back this up for a second. Back to the 10th. Hold on, Tom. All right, Tom, let's take a look. I always like looking at the last 30 days to get a good idea where it's going. Now, it looks kind of nice. It does. But now, Tom, let me show you what I mean by it's always, always, always about the numbers, all right? 30 days ago, what we're looking at, here's the 10th right here, okay? Wait a second, let's go back to the 9th. 9th, okay. Okay, this would be the indicator what you see before you jump in the 9th. Because here's the 9th here, the very next day would be the 10th. Okay, so just go with the flow here for a second. So here, 30 days ago, it's at 14. Jumped up to 17, dropped back down to 14. Now it's at 16.25. Let's count it out for a second. From 14 to 17, it's up $3. Okay, that's what, 17%, something like that. From here to here, 17%. And then she drops back down to 14. Now from 14 here to 16.25, well, that's $2.25. Well, that's about 13 to 14% right there. Between here and here, that's a 12 to 14%. Why, serious question, why would you jump in on a 14% increase from the bottom? See, bottom here, jumps up, nice move. Profit taking down here, new bottom, 2 days up, 1, 2. This is where you get in on the 3rd day here, okay? It's not that much room. It already made that big move. So my question would be, why would you do that? But you already did, so hold on. All right. 1616, okay. On 610, okay, got today $3 for the 1650. Okay, so today is the 30th. Okay, all right, so you bought here. Okay, what I'm missing, Tom, is how much did you collect for this week on the week of the 10th, which would have been right here, okay? You said that's where you jumped in on the 10th. Okay, so what premium did you collect? Okay, let's keep on going, because it's not going to go up much higher before she turns around based on this movement here. Okay, down day, down day, down day, down day. Okay, she's coming back down. Okay, so here's 1 week. You should have collected 1 premium here. Okay, should have expired, worthless. Well, now you're here, $15.50. So this week here, what option did you sell? And as it keeps on progressing, here's your new bottom. And you would have sold another. See, 1 premium, 2 premiums, 3 premiums, and now we're here. Okay, so Mara at 16, is going for 50 cents for next week. And the 16 is up here. And you got in at 16.16. So what's wrong with this week's 50s, or next week's 50s? Or next week's 16s? Paying 50 cents. That's a nice one. So I'm not quite sure, number one, why you jumped in where you did. And you should have, hypothetically, picked up 1 premium, 2 premiums, 3 premiums, and now we're here. Okay? And here, this week, I'll be looking at the 16s or the 1650s, because the 1650s are paying 2%. So it's always going to be about the numbers, Tom. Where did you get in? What premium did you sell? So that was 3 weeks ago. So hypothetically, 1 premium, 2 premiums, 3 premiums, and this should be the 4th premium. Should be. So as it continues to go up, see, it goes up, turns around, comes back down, now it goes back up again. How far up is it going to go? See, the bottom's here at 13. Now we're at 1560. That's 2.5. That's what, 17% between here and here? About. You do the math. Here's the bottom, here's the top. How much of a distance is that? Because that's what other investors are looking at. Remember, you're not the only person on the dance floor. As a matter of fact, 46 million shares traded today. So however many shares you have, maybe 100, 500, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, I don't know. Okay, now you're here, so I'm pretty sure you're not a big fish. Okay, big fish would have been hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands. Okay, 46 million traded today. Where are you in that little picture? How big of a fish are you in this pond? Uh-oh. Where are we? I'm missing some questions. All right. So, Tom, hope you understand that one. Would you have chosen less than the 1650? Yeah, I would have went to the 16 this week. Might need new chords or something. Probably, Brian, not sure. Okay, Apex, TSLL, no. Hood has not been around 20 years. Okay? Google has 2 years of dividends. No, thank you. All righty. Michael Williams, how you doing? King Cabal, how are you today? Lonzo, thank you. You're welcome. Jose, ¿qué pasa? Cool beans. King Cabal, thank you, thank you, thank you. Muhammad, thank you. Muhammad. Duke Energy, DUK. I don't think Duke is a weekly. I think it's a monthly. DUK. Yeah, no, thank you. How do you know when to know to pull out? Oh, okay, I can't even read that one. When you take your profits, that's all it is. Stephen Ashmore. Philip Morris. Cool beans. Philip Morris. PM. No. Look at it. Well, I don't know. Maybe. It'll last 30 days. Interesting. Up, down. Up, down. Now she's going up. 1 day to the upside. I like 2 days to the upside, and on the third day, maybe. So 182. The 182 is going for 130. Yeah, no, thank you. The numbers just don't work. Sorry, Stefan. Do you pay taxes when you pull a profit? Okay, IROD, when any time it comes to taxes, my advice on that topic, you need to talk to a tax strategist or a tax planner. Okay, I always get in trouble when I talk taxes. I prefer not to talk about them. You need to talk to a tax strategist to make sure you're paying the appropriate amount. And if you can, pay no taxes at all. Legally, you need to talk to a tax strategist. They will help you. Thoughts on Philip Morris? We just did that one. Jose, COP, ConocoPhillips. COP. Interesting what's going on here. No. Okay, 30-day bottom, 30-day top. Now we're down here. You need to wait, find a bottom before she turns around. The younger you are, the more you risk you take. Absolutely. Wait, so you don't know how to trade? Wow. No, I am totally clueless. I need somebody like you to come here and tell me. But thank you for that one. Okay, Jose, we just checked ConocoPhillips. Okay, bottom is here. 1 day up, 2 days up. Now she's pulling back. Third day, I like to be higher than the second day up. See, bottom's here, 89. 1 day up, 2 days up, third day pulled back. That's just not today type scenario. Philip Morris is the king. PM thoughts. Yeah, we just looked at it. Skull Trader. Instead of dividend stock talk, you should call yourself option premium income stock. Yeah, kind of makes sense, but think of the name. All right? People remember in threes. Dividend, stock, talk. Threes. Your symbol, please. UL. UL. Oh, United Laboratories. No. Yeah. But look at this. 18 July, 15 August, 21 November, 16 January. I don't like monthlies because monthlies for me just don't work. The numbers never work. And then what makes it even more difficult, hold that thought right there. Okay? What makes monthlies even more difficult, this right here is a 30-day chart. Okay? 30-day high was 64, 30-day bottom was 60. It's definitely in an upward trend. Okay? But this is what it was 30 days ago. She went down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now she's going back up again. Great. Now tell me, where is it going to be in 30 days? It's one of the reasons I don't like monthlies is because it's very challenging to figure out where is it going to be 30 days from today. And the next option right there, okay, the 63, they don't even have a 63. But look at the 62.50. It's paying 15 cents. Now, I got to hold this thing for 18 days, which is 3 weeks. So 3 weeks, and I'm only collecting 1/3% for 3 weeks. So that's 1/10% every week. So for me, monthlies, the numbers just don't work. Okay, and trying to figure out where is it going to be in 30 days, I prefer not to. That's why I like to stick to only the weeklies. Weeklies make it easier for me. Okay, is that understandable?
Yeah. It's interesting because I just asked an AI.
Yeah.
It has weekly options, and according to it, it actually does have weekly options. But it does not seem to be available because with maybe.
Well, okay, hold on a second. Let's see. UL. Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance. July, right here. See, this is, and Yahoo Finance says 18 July, 15 August, November 21, January. See, even Yahoo Finance is saying it's monthlies.
All right then. Okay.
But the chart looks good though, because it's at that bottom. Now she's turning. Let's get out of there. Let's get back to here we go. Okay, so where are we now? Okay, we just did Philip Morris. Kate Lonzo, please just give weekly. Thank you. Verbal, Venture Global. Okay, Terry, never heard of it. You actually got to give me the ticker symbol with stocks I've never heard of. Okay.
For your information, I think the YouTube live stream, there's something wrong with it. Somehow closed and it's loading right now.
The YouTube live stream?
Yeah, it's not working.
Uh-oh. Let me check. Let's check. Okay.
I'm clicking, it just no really at all.
Okay. I'm checking. Hold on. Go. Because I have to get to YouTube channel. In case you guys were curious. The other one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, look at this. I got chats over there. Can't read it. Barrett, Ponce, he don't care. Turn the camera. Which weekly calls did you take this week? Hi. God bless, help this man. Okay. Okay, what I need, could you look at the box? Procter & Gamble, Kraft Heinz, and Dollar General. Tiny Cocoa. Oh, usually right there. So why is it loading?
No idea. It's been loading for a while already.
Oh, so I'm a bad connection somewhere. The two cameras I'm looking at here and here. Well, I got three. Holy cow, I got 3 channels on YouTube. All right. What about this one? None going Tiny Cocoa. Oh, usually right there. So why is it loading? Going through. Now, which channel? So I'm a bad connection somewhere. Okay. The 2 cameras I'm looking at here and here. Okay, yeah, but there's 2 channels. I got 3. Holy cow, I got 3 channels on. There's 2 channels. There's a channel. Right. This is the other channel. What about this one? So if you go to Tiny Cocoa, usually right there. So why is it YouTube channel? This one's live, and this now there's one of me standing in front of the screen, and there's one of just the screen itself.
Yeah.
Okay, so which one are you watching? You watching the one me standing in front of the screen, or just the screen itself?
The one standing in front of the screen.
Okay, so if you go to the second one, okay, because there's 2 of them. One standing in front of the screen, the other one's just the screen itself. So if you go to the 10-Minute Trader, the home channel, hook on home videos, shorts, live, it will show you these 2 right here. You get to take your pick which one you want to look at. Now the one with just the screen, which is this one right here, that way it's easier to see all the numbers.
Yeah, to tell you that the one where you are standing in front of the screen is not working somehow.
Okay. It seems to be. All right. Moo Cow, James, enjoyed your guest last night. You should have your grandchild on the show more often. You do realize I'm 61, okay? And he's 5. There's a reason why people my age don't have kids 4 or 5 years old. Trying to keep up with them, not the easiest thing to do at my age. And I hate saying that because, that means I'm admitting I'm getting older. All right, so let's keep on doing what we're doing. This Ben Roberts. Ben Roberts, how are you today? All right, so let's keep on going. Call the calculator money machine. Hey, Laurie, I like that one. Money machine, come on. The objective is to get assigned. Not always. The objective, the Gorias. Gorias? The object is consistency of income. Okay, 1% every week. Now, once in a while, yeah, let it get assigned if the numbers are in that favor. Because the numbers are going to tell you what to do. Okay, does it make sense to do this? Does it make sense to do that? Now, remember, there's only 2 objectives. And there goes YouTube again. Okay, YouTube just cut off. Okay, so let's do YouTube again. Let's reboot both of them. Reboot both of them. No, it's not made for children. No, it's not made for children. Go live, go live. There we go. So those you on YouTube, I want to apologize because I have no control of what happens with YouTube. Okay, there it goes again. All right, where was I? Jose ConocoPhillips, we already looked at that. Target, we're going to take a look at that one right. Okay, Asian Jim, let the runners run. Okay, Asian Jim, when you're doing covered calls, it's not always that easy to let the runners run. Okay, because with covered calls, there are obligations. Once you sell a covered call at a certain price, at a certain date, you're required to fulfill that. And if the stock goes past your strike price and you don't want to let it go, well, you can roll it forward and collect some more money. But at some point in time, you have to let it go. Where do we watch your morning trades? Mindy, how are you today? Oh, Mindy, the morning trades are a paid service. Say only those that actually pay for that service get to do that. All right, that'd be on the Patreon. So like I said, I try not to sell anything here. Okay, if you want to join me live with the trading, yeah, just go to the website. I'll show you how to get to there. So is your objective to get assigned on your call? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It's always going to be depending on the numbers. So if I buy UL, well, let's try and find another one. Macy's. I bought some Macy's this morning. Because the numbers just look good. Nothing's wrong there. Look, here's your bottom. That nice. I bought some Macy's this morning. So it's always going to be about the numbers. So I bought it this morning at 11 and change, and I sold the 11.50s. All right, so it's 40 cents a share. Great. Well, as the stock goes up, and I sell the 11.50s, once it goes above 11.50s, I can't change my strike price without having to pay money. It's always going to be about the numbers. So as it goes up higher and higher and higher, well, I can roll it forward to collect some more money. But at some point, I have to say bye-bye and see you later. Because eventually, as you see, it goes down, it goes up. It goes down, it goes up. It goes down, now it's going to go up. At what point is it going to turn around? Well, look at the bottom. 10.50. Well, now it's at 11.60. That's $1.10. Okay, well, $1.10 to a $10 stock is over 10%. So there's a 10% increase right there between here and here. It's not a lot of money, but it's a $10 stock. So a $1.50 increase on a $10 stock, yeah, that's 15%. How much higher do you think it's going to go before people like me and some of you in the audience say, you know what, it's up 15, it's up 20, it's up 18, whatever. I'm taking my profits. Profit taken is something that happens. If you don't take your profits, someone else is going to. And then the stock is going to drop. Because that's all they do. That's it. That's all. They go up, they go down. That's it. So as it goes up, count it in your head. Okay? 5%, 10%, 15%, 20%. At what point do you want to jump out? Because eventually it is going to come back down again. And you'll miss that opportunity. So if I buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here. Okay? Now, Macy's gave me well over 50% about 2 years ago. 1%, 2% every single week. It's not so great this year, but last year and the year before it was awesome. Uh-oh. Where can I open the same menu you have on your screen for myself? This screen here? This is Thinkorswim. You actually have to have Thinkorswim downloaded onto your computer to get to that. Now, Thinkorswim is free to use for a while, but eventually the company that owns it, Charles Schwab, is going to want you to have an account with them. Okay, I like Thinkorswim. I've been using it for 20 years. 15 years ago, I wrote a book on choosing the right trading platform because I was looking for something specific for my style of trading. And this company was the only one that offered it. So I learned it, and I'm thankful that they haven't changed it since. All right, so let's keep on going. Keep on keeping on. Odem, how are you today? What percentage are you looking from? Oh, just here to support. Okay, just here to support. I'm looking at the factual numbers, the bottom to the top. How much distance from the bottom to the top? The top to the bottom, bottom to the top, top to the bottom. Because when you're a trader, there are hundreds, thousands of people sitting in front of their computers every single day. When they see the stock getting down here at 1050, well, yeah, I'm going to buy it at 1050. And then as it goes up to here, 1185 or whatever it was, yeah, I'm jumping out. Okay? We're all different. We all have different goals. We all have a different amount of money to play with. We all have a different objective. We all have a different risk factor. So you have to take into consideration, okay, where am I on this hierarchy? Well, me, I'm at 1%, and I want to do covered calls because they're simple, they're safe, they're predictable, they're easy. Okay, and I don't have to spend that much time in front of the computer. 5, 10, 15 minutes a day, that's about it. Pepsi, dividend, no one. We already looked at Pepsi about a half hour ago. But the stock has to be low. Sophie, not necessarily so. I would like 15% of the fourth of the Google stock with 3% interest. Okay, Sophie, I have no idea what that means. Okay, but stock has to be low, not necessarily. 9/11, what happened because the stock crashed? Okay. Thoroughly explain the stock and evolution of how fast food corporation rule world. Okay, that's way too much there, dude. Go Joe, how do I start learning stocks as a beginner? Go Joe, it's simple, okay? Really not that difficult, okay? Drive down the street. Take a look at street signs. ExxonMobil, Shell, International House of Pancakes, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, Bed Bath and Beyond, AT&T, Mobile, T-Mobile. Okay, as you're driving down the street of every major city in the United States, you'll see companies that look familiar. Okay, companies you know. Why would you invest into something you know nothing about? Stick to what you know. That's it. James, God is in total control. Woodson, would you? How about Robin? What about it? Harry Hippo, what is the problem with that? Where are you from? Love what you're doing. Thank you. Thank you. Pringle say blah, blah, blah. What about taxes? I live in Guernsey because of the high taxes elsewhere. Okay, Moser, what I'm going to tell you about taxes. Find yourself a good qualified tax strategist and tell them, I would like to invest in the stock market and I would like to get weekly cash flow and I do not want to pay taxes. A good tax strategist, the very first question you should ask a tax strategist is, how much time? No. Wasn't that quick? Look at it. Way down here. High, way down here. So let's take a gander. The bottom of the year was yesterday. Yeah, today's Monday. So Friday is the bottom of the year. But how do we know? Because it's only one day. Okay? And today we only have a higher bottom. We don't have a higher top. So how do we know Friday was the bottom? You need to have more days to compare it to. But at this moment in time, Kraft Heinz bottom was Friday. Today's bottom's a little bit higher. Pepsi thought, where did Pepsi? Next Energy. Tommy, you got to give me the ticker symbol for Next Energy. Now, I know what Nextera is, but Next Energy? No, I don't know that one. How do you get those analysis numbers on the right? Those aren't analysis numbers, brother. Those are option numbers. Okay, stock options. I didn't come up with them. Someone else came up with them. I just showing them. That's it. Oh, Nextera Energy. That's N-U-E? No, that's Nucor. Nextera. Give me a second. I'll think of that one. Lockheed Martin. Bruno. LMT. Same thing with Lockheed Martin. Okay? Friday's the new bottom. Today's just one day to the upside. I just look at the numbers. Okay, here's your 30-day bottom, your 30-day top. Now she's dropping. Here's a new bottom right here that we're working on. Okay, today's one day to the upside. Higher bottom, higher top. So I like 2 days to the upside. And then on the third day, if the third day, yeah, that's when I jump in. What about Kroger? Check out FFIA. What the hell is FFIA? FFIA. Hell no. SRPT. What the hell is SRPT? SRPT. I'm going to say no. Look at that. High, and it keeps on dropping. Yeah, no. Okay, Nextera Energy. Nextera Energy. Okay. 30-day bottom, 30-day top. She's dropping. Gap down today. Okay. I like 2 days. I don't know how many times I'm going to repeat it. 2 days to the upside. And the third day, if it's higher, yes. How many contracts do you recommend? Okay. Katie. Okay. I don't know anything about you. I cannot tell you and I cannot give you recommendations. Okay. Me, personally, I like to do 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%. I like to have 5 positions per account. Makes it easier to manage. Mike said FFIA. FFIA. That's still not there, Mike. Okay, FFIA, FFAI. Hell no, brother. Come on, $1.60? How can you get 20 years of increased profits with a stock that's $1.68? Really? Come on, Mike. Do I trade futures? No, I do not. Walgreens? No. Since they got sold, no. Macy's? Yes. AT&T? Yes. Ford? Yes. And Verizon? Yes. Trust the Swiss stock market and exchange market. What about Novartis? Yeah, never heard of it. Okay, I do American stocks. I don't do that. EQIX? EQIX? No. I don't do monthlies. I already said that. Which broker? I use Think or Swim, which is through Charles Schwab. Okay, so let's keep on going. Tommy. Wow, it's all these questions. Holy cow. We got 15 minutes. All right, so we got 15 minutes left. No more stocks. I'm just going to answer questions. I got a whole bunch of questions to answer. So let's see what we can do because we're down here at 11. How do you get Felix? What's happening? Laurie, good evening. Simba, they come up on Think or Swim. Nextera Energy, we already looked at that one. How many contracts? I already said that one. Have you checked Intel? INTC. Now I do have some Intel. Okay, now I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell everyone else. 30-day bottom, 30-day top on Friday. Today's coming back. Yeah, no thanks on Intel. Help me understand, why do dividends matter since you probably are be assigned before the EX date? Why do dividends matter? Okay, it's a great question. Number one, there are 2 types of companies available in the stock market. One, they share their profits through a dividend. They're sharing their good fortune with me and you. They're sharing their profits. Great. The other company take all the profits, put it back into the company for capital appreciation. If you're looking for capital appreciation, that means the stock price goes higher and higher and higher. You're in the wrong place. I'm here for cash flow only. I have no desire whatsoever to buy a stock and watch it go up. See, watch it go up, 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 up. I have no desire for that whatsoever. I'm 61. The money that I create on a weekly basis pays my bills. Okay, that's why dividends matter to me. Also, a dividend allows me to see if the company is consistently profitable, because that profits go back to the investors. That's us. So if that dividend increases every single year, well, then I know the company's more profitable every single year. I don't have to read 20 years worth of quarterly reports. Okay? Third is dividend stocks have a tendency to be predictable and consistent. That means usually, give me a second while I open this up. Okay? Usually, the EX dividend calendar, Lowe's right here, the 23rd is the dividend. Now, if I like Lowe's and I want to take advantage of Lowe's, number one, I can take a look at the dividend, see how often it has increased. Number two, dividend stocks, specifically the ones that I look at, have a tendency to increase in value the closer they get to the EX date. So the EX date for Lowe's is right here. So I don't want to buy Lowe's here, here, or here. I don't want to buy it here, here, here. I want to buy Lowe's here, 2 weeks before the dividend date. Because 2 weeks before the dividend date, the stock goes up in value. And knowing when a stock's going to move based on the dividend, that gives me an edge and tells me when a stock's going to move. So that's when I want to look at it, just before the dividend date. Okay? Hopefully that answered the question. Born Cobb, do you have a certain amount of money before trying this method, or can you start small? As a matter of fact, Born Cobb, I'm actually creating a new channel with my grandson, Winnie's Nickels, Dimes, and Quarters. Well, we came up with $97.50. So, we're starting my grandson off with another account at $97.50, and we're going to show every single week where me, my ex-wife, my son, my daughter-in-law, and my in-laws, well, they're all going to take all their pennies, nickels, and dimes, throw it in a jar for the grandchildren. They are going to invest using this strategy or something similar to it and share it live. So you get to see how to start off with fractional shares and pennies, nickels, and dimes. Okay, he's 5 years old. So by the time he's 18, hopefully he'll have a nice amount of money and he'll be able to use it. Okay? All right. How much money? Okay, we already did that one. Austin, what's happening, brother? Which broker is best? Okay, Dune, I honestly couldn't tell you what broker is best for you. I have some accounts in Think or Swim, and I have a couple accounts in Robinhood. Okay, so I couldn't tell you which is the best because we're all different. You have a different agenda than I do. I might be older than you. I don't know. Okay, I'm looking for safety and predictability of income. Think you would reverse your writing above the screen. Mr. J, I'm going to tell you the exact same thing I've told 35 other people on YouTube. If you know how to reverse the cameras on YouTube so that everything looks normal to you, you let me know. And then I'll change all the cameras. But until then, there's only one company that I know of that allows you to mirror the images, and that's TikTok. They're all normal. Okay, YouTube's backwards. What stocks would you recommend for beginners to trade with when starting to learn to invest? Okay, Tiny Coco. Oh, I was going to tell you paper trading, but you beat me to that one. I'm saying stick to the good companies, the blue chips. Okay, those are Dividend Kings, Dividend Aristocrats, Dividend Champions, okay, Dividend Contenders, and Walks, because I don't do a lot of research on his stocks. I have that philosophy. If it's good enough for Warren, it's good enough for me. It might be right, might be wrong. Hello, James. How's it going? It's going wonderful. As a beginner, what do I have to look? I would say, as a beginner, think long and hard. Is this something you want to add to your morning routine? You think about it. If you get a goldfish, well, you got to change the water. You got to feed it. If you get a dog or a cat, you got to feed it. You got to clean up its mess. Well, we're talking about your money here. If you want it to grow and grow steadily, you got to give it some attention every day or every week at least. Okay? So Dune, I like Thinkorswim. It looks complicated at first, but it's really not that complicated once you get used to what you're looking at. It's kind of like driving a car, all right? So I'm going to assume most of you people have one of those push-button start cars, okay? Put it in drive, you're good to go. Well, for somebody like me, well, we had stick shift, clutch, brakes, emergency brakes. We had the alternator. What do you call it? The altimeter. Tells you what the alternator's doing. We have a temperature gauge. Tells you what the engine's doing. We have a thermostat. Tells you how hot it is. We had a lot of gauges and stuff we had to keep track of while we're driving. Okay, a little bit different. Well, nowadays it's a little easier. Same thing with the stocks. It's a lot easier nowadays than it was when I... Awesome, Chuck, you get 2 of those. Way to go, Chuck. But Chuck, let me know throughout the week how it progressed for you. If you have questions about your positions, you know what I tell everybody? If you have questions, send me your phone number. As long as it is a U.S.-based phone number, I'll give you a call. Personally, me. I'm not going to pawn it off on someone else because there isn't anybody else. It's just me at the moment. For me, this is a hobby. This is not a business. This is a hobby. It's just me. At some point in time, there's so many other people keep on joining, I might have to turn it into a business. It means I have to hire people to help me. I'm retired. I really don't want to do that. But I might have to. All right, so let's keep on keeping on. Okay, we got 5 minutes left to go. Neat, we did that one. Q's stock. IMAX. Target. I like Target. IMAX I don't really know, so I really can't sell it. UPSD, isn't that Upstart? Uh-oh. Always get somebody every single night asking me about Misty. But you know what? You're asking me about Misty. I'll tell you what. I will look at Misty if you will first go into whatever financial website you use to decide whether or not you like a stock and tell me how many years has Misty increased its dividends to its shareholders. You come back and tell me that, and then we'll spend half hour, 20 minutes, 30 minutes on MSTY. Fair enough? Sammy Upstart, it has not been around for 20 years. How can I share my number with you? Don't really want to put it on the chat. No, don't. Okay? You're on YouTube. Okay? On YouTube, you just go to the bio. Okay? In the bio, it's like, who is James? Okay? Who is the owner of Dividend Stock Talk? Or what do you call it? Dividend Stock Talk and the 10-Minute Trader. My email address. My phone number is even on YouTube if you dig deep enough. Okay? Send me an email. Text message. Either way. Okay? I'll give you a buzz. Average cost $2.54 a share. Short sell, how or wait to recover. Oh, Ryan, I have a minor flaw with everything you just said. I have no idea what stock you're talking about. Okay? Ryan's Gaming. Okay? Everything you said, you didn't tell me what stock you're looking at. Bull call option hot. Okay. Lululemon. Yeah, good luck with that one, brother. It doesn't have 20 years of consistent profitability. It's a no for me from the beginning. So I honestly couldn't help you. I went around for 20 years ago. Coming at you from London. How are you doing, bloody mate? Go toss off, you bloody wanker. Love the way you guys talk. I got a friend of mine in England. That's the way she talks to me. Oh, sort off, James, you bloody wanker. All right, so 5-5 fire. Yeah, I'm waiting for you to tell me. Uh-oh, and Coney too. Yeah, Gen Xer, I know that one, Gen Xer. Andrea, can we look at airlines, Delta, American Airlines? They have some earnings coming up in 2 weeks. Okay, hold on a second, Andrea. Bruno, SGBS. What the hell is that, Bruno? SGBS. Hell no. See, that's what it's coming up at. Okay? Can't find that symbol. Delta, DEL. That's not right. American Airlines. Now she's coming up. She's at 1122, the 1124s, the 1150s, 29. That's over 2%. Now, however, Andrea, United, UAL. Awesome too. Basically the same thing. Both United Airlines and... Hey James, what's your opinion on XRP? Nope. Yeah, I get you're hearing a lot of information on XRP. For me, it's a young man's game. Okay, I'm 61, going to be 62. I have no desire whatsoever to put money into something and having to wait for it. Okay, it hasn't been around long enough to show me personally it has what it takes to earn my business. Okay, it may be the greatest thing since sliced bread. I don't know. But I like to stay only with companies that are consistently profitable for at least 2 decades. XRP isn't there yet. Do you get interest on your cash secured puts collateral? I don't do cash secured puts that often to even wonder to worry about that one. Stock ticker MSTR. Strategy. Oh, take a look at that one. Okay. Interesting, if you like that. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. It's time for me to head out. I am going to finish up the questions I have here, and that will be at 30 questions. Holy cow. What do we have? TSLY. Ugh, no. I'm going to say no to that one. It's not the dividend stock that I want to do. Uh-oh. Okay. NTLA. KROS. I've never heard of any of these things. Do you diversify among industries? Okay, just here to support. Now, you've been here long enough, okay? I take all my stocks and I put them into the calendar. That tells me who to buy and when to buy. I don't separate them by industry. Sanzo, DE, that's John Deere. Yeah. Man, I swear I hear the same questions every day. You think you do? I've been doing this for 2 years. I hear the same questions every single night. Okay, STZ, we've done that one. Apple stock, love Apple stock. You looked at AEO yesterday, but I don't think they've been profitable for 20 years. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, thanks TikTok Tommy. We'll check into that one tomorrow, but it's past 11. I'm just answering questions now. But come back tomorrow at the same time. We'll take a look at it. Best stocks to invest in as a beginner. I tell everyone the same thing. Dividend Kings, Dividend Aristocrats, Dividend Champions, Dividend Contenders, Warren Buffett's list. What's your opinion on Pfizer? Billy, I love Pfizer. It just has to be the right time. U.S. food stock. Mr. Blackhawk, what U.S. food stock are we talking about? Please look at QuantumScape stock. Decades. Okay. Mindy thinks that's funny. Pfizer. Billy, I love Pfizer. I do. I'll have to check on it tomorrow. Past my bedtime, I do is right up to 11. What's the name of the new channel for your grandson so we can watch? As soon as I know what it's going to be, I got to coordinate with my son because it will be me, my son, and my grandson, all 3 of us doing it. I think it'll be fun. You know, give us all 3 something to do together, and maybe when I'm an old man and I have great-grandchildren, we can show my great-grandson. That'd be cool. Hey, James, Apple was a good pick today. Hey, Randall Ray, how are you today? Steven Martinez, I actually bought some Hertz today also. Even if gets called away, you'll be over 2%. Cool beans. Way to go, Chuck. AMGN. What are my thoughts? Okay, Tim. AMGN was great a couple of years ago. But whatever happened in the last few years, the option premium has decreased to a point where it's just not worth the effort. FSLR is a play for this week. Really? I have no idea. Speculation. Okay. Thank you for your time. You're welcome. Halliburton. Tim, yep, I do have some Halliburton. What about CLS? CLS. What the heck is CLS? Celsius? Is that right? CLS? CLS. Oh, what the heck is that? Hell no. Why the hell? Explain to me. Seriously. CLS? Seriously? $60? Now it's at $160? What the hell? You think just because you're going to buy it, it's going to keep on going up? If I bought it, fuck, I'd be taking profits. Look at that. $60 back in April, beginning of April, $60, and it jumped up to $156. That's almost a $100 increase. Yeah, I'd be jumping out of that one. Sorry. STRK is a MicroStrategy bond stock, has 7% dividend, skyrocketed today. STRK. Yeah, hell no. Okay? It's your bottom, your high, drop down, now it jumped up. Great. What do you think is going to happen tomorrow? And it has no options, so yeah, no thank you. No options, no thank you. No dividends, no thank you. Okay? Not been in business for at least 20 years, yeah, no thank you. Stock market has been around for 400 years. 423 years, to be exact. 1602, the very first dividend stock was created and sold. Okay, the Dutch East India Shipping Company. Stock market has been around for over 400 years. Why would I put my money into a company that has not been profitable for at least 2 decades? Ask yourself. You guys are all adults. Figure out what makes sense to you. To me, 2 decades of increased profitability. That's it. And weekly options. I'm looking for 2 things and only 2 things. That's it. 2 things and only 2 things. Consistency of profitability and preservation of my capital. I have a trading strategy that is simple, safe, predictable, consistent, created for a 9-year-old. In 2008, my 9-year-old daughter said, "Daddy, what are you doing? Can you teach me?" Well, most adults don't get it. Most adults don't understand it. Most people want to buy a stock and have it shoot to the moon and then retire the very next day. Well, it does happen. Okay? It hasn't happened to me, and it hasn't happened to anybody that I know personally. But I've heard stories. Somebody bought something at $100 and it shot up to 121. That's only a 20% increase. That's not that glamorous. Tam, Hershey's. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at tomorrow. Okay? That being said, it's 11:05. I'm out of here tonight. We're going to do the same thing tomorrow night. Okay? Now, you guys have a great night, and we'll see you all again tomorrow. All right. You guys have a great night. See you guys tomorrow. And the meeting. And here we are done. We are done. And we are done. Oops. Done. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friends, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case for which